Folks, Andy here from Aussie Homesteads. Just working on a Fisher and Paykel washing machine today, and common problem with these older style ones is this button here and this button here, which is the stop start, and the power button. People push them too hard and they end up pushing harder and harder and harder, and that creates a problem in the back of it, which I'll explain in a second. And it's usually these two, because they're the two most common ones. You can power up and you've generally got your cycle already memorized in there, and you hit start and off it goes. Alrighty, so let's figure out what we're going to do to fix this washing machine. First off, it's a WA65T. You don't need the rest of the numbers. It's a 6.5 kilo. Alrighty, safety first as usual. Washing machine is unplugged. First things first. Unscrew this screw here. Unscrew this screw here on the other side, and you'll find once you take the lid off, you'll find that it flops over. And lo and behold, there is the control board. So that's the control board where all those buttons are underneath there. And the long lead goes then through to the motor controller. And that's the motor controller. So it controls the solenoids, the motor, the water level, the, oh God, you name it, and out of balance and all that. It controls the solenoids for the inlet for the cold water and the hot water. But the problem is with these things is they raise because people are pushing on the back of that with that button, and eventually it'll flip these little tabs up. All right, so let's have a good look at one we've got sitting on the bench and explain to you what happens. So I've already taken this one off. It's just a different model. This is an MW512. It's just an older machine. And I've taken the control board out, and you'll see that that is all the electronics and switches. That one there's the power button. And way over here is the stop-start button. So when that's in there, all of these little tabs, little knobs on them, push onto those little micro switches. They're only teeny weeny little switches, you see, aren't they? Alright, so they've got to be pretty accurate. If these things are bent down or bent up, it won't activate them properly, and people keep pushing them through the back of the damn machine. And what happens is, it jumps out of this tab here, and this tab here, because the board keeps trying to lift out of the plastic housing, and then you get the same problem on this end, where your stop-start button is. Okay, so what did they do? Well, they went from this design, which has got screws in it, and they thought, oh, that's too expensive. Let's just get rid of all the plastic housing and shove it on some plastic tabs to save some money. Did themselves a bit of an injustice, actually. They did later on improve them, and I'll take you over here and show you a later model controller. Same idea. This is actually a 10 kilo washing machine, but look at the quality of the housing. Screwed in, no plastic tabs. So you'll find that these later ones, you can't push those buttons through. These are actually touch sensitive now. Don't even need to push them, you just got to touch them. Okay, so they did improve it. Alright, but that doesn't help us with this one, because we've got to repair this one. So let's figure out how we're going to stop those tabs lifting. Now there's a number of things that you can do. So this relocates back in there again, and you'll find that this little round part here, and this little round part here, and there's two up the other end, they line up with the board. You can only put it in one way, and then of course that lead that is there has to go back into there. So you know we can't get it around the wrong way. It doesn't fit the other way, actually. But the problem is with those tabs, that one there is the only thing holding it in the power button, and it's the smallest seat, it's the smallest tab. So they couldn't put a big one there. No, let's just shove a small one there, you know what I mean? And there's no tabs in the middle. So the only thing holding that board, this board here, down, is that little tiny clip. So you can heat them up with a heat gun, which is one of these little fellas, which I use for heat shrink and getting off ICs and resistors and stuff off of boards when I'll melt the solder and just pull them out. It's adjustable temperature, $30, $40 or whatever it is on eBay, not poisonously dear, but controllable temperature. You can actually turn it down. This is on about half. And if you put a little bit of heat on there, don't go ape, because you will melt it. and then just push it in with a screwdriver until it sets. And it doesn't take long, it takes about 10 seconds until it cools down. You can use a little blower if you want, and you can apply a bit of cold air to it and cools it down quicker. But if you're patient enough, you just wait 10 seconds or 15 seconds. And this is a type of a nylon material. I think it's polyethylene, and it doesn't really matter. The plastic has like a memory, and once it's set into a position, it tends not to move back out. I do it to these two. So this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, because remember, that's your stop-start end, and that's your power end. So what we want to do is make this board retain so it can't lift. So when you push on the back of that button, like over here, when you push on that button there, it pushes on this little white tab, which has a little knob on it, and that little knob pushes onto that tiny little micro switch. So if it's out of alignment, it's not going to work properly. And to stop it lifting, what we do is we heat that up, the heat gun, melt it in. But if you have a look at what I've done over here as well, I've gone even a step further. This is that first little tiny tab that I was telling you about. This is the power switch. And there's that second one that I was telling you about. And there's that stem, like a plastic stem that helps guide this board back into position again. You'll see that I've put araldite, 5-minute araldite there, 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 and there, and there. Because these are the two areas that are going to get the most work. Alright, so wait for your 5-minute araldite to set. And you'll find now that if I put this back together again, so now I can turn the power back on. I've got no danger of sticking my fingers in there, have I? If I was to plug it back in, you listen for the sound, it should power up. And there's the power up sound that we're looking for, so the repair was successful. Now, will it work? Well, let's find out. Look, lights are on. So that repair was an easy peasy one. See how easy I've got to push that now? I'm barely putting any pressure on it. So there you go. Hope that helps someone. They did improve them. I'm rather pleased that they took the initiative, and obviously got a lot of feedback from people that fix them for a living like me, and did improve them. So well done, Fisher and Paykel. But basically, if you've got one of these machines, and with that button problem there, now you know how to fix it. Any questions, drop them in the comments. If you want to follow and like the video, that's great. There'll be more videos to come, and also we'll be discussing very shortly on ways to make money off grid. Of course, I repair washing machines and dryers, and I also refurbish them and sell them, so that's one way that I make money. I'm retired, so I've got no choice but to try and make enough cash to be able to live. So I'll talk to you about that in later videos on ways to make money in off-grid situations. But for the moment, let's stick with a couple of washing machine repairs, because this one is common. I get this all the time. I probably get 100 machines a year just with this problem. So it's an easy fix. It's better than going and buying a whole new top or a whole new control board, because you can get new stickers for these. They're about $70 actually, and see how this one's got cracks in it. So the water can creep in there over time. But this machine will last this lady for another 10 years. I mean, it's probably a 15, 16, 17-year-old machine that's still going. Still got no out of balance issues. It returns nicely to the middle. So I'll run this through a full cycle for an hour and make sure that it all works, and then I'll ship it out and give her a $60 bill. And that's pretty much how I fixed that for $60. So, hope that helps someone. It's Andy here from Aussie Homestead, signing off till the next one, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.